Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do today is to go through an old classic, a book that was published in 1886 by a famous author named Friedrich Nietzsche. And the title of this book is Beyond Good and Evil. And we'll start off with a quote to get us on the right path and thinking in a particular way. The noble type of man experiences itself as determining values. It does not need approval. It judges. What is injurious to me is injurious in itself. It knows itself to be that which first accords honour to things. It is value creating. So let's go for a walk and talk and see what we can learn from this book. And the first key message, and noting this book was published in 1886, a long time ago, round about, or just a little bit after this building was created. So we've got a beautiful backdrop here at Sydney University, which we'll use for today's discussion and see where it leads us. So the first message that comes from Nietzsche is that we need to challenge conventional morality. Nietzsche argues that traditional moral values are often based on a thing that he describes as herd mentality, groupthink. He encourages readers to question and challenge societal norms, suggesting that what is deemed good or evil is often subjective and influenced by the cultural context that it exists in and it involves in. We are invited to embrace individualism. A central theme to this work is the importance of individualism. He advocates for the pursuit of personal values and beliefs rather than conforming to the expectations of society, promoting the idea that true greatness comes from self-definition. We need, according to this author, to recognize the will to power. The author introduces the concept of the will to power, which he sees as a fundamental driving force in humans. The idea suggests that individuals are motivated by a desire to assert and enhance their own power and influence, which can lead to their personal growth and creativity. Another interesting point, which can be anchored to Christianity as well, is the concept of suffering as a path to growth. Nietzsche suggests and posits that suffering is an inherent part of life that should not be avoided or shied away from. This idea suggests that individuals are motivated by a desire to assert themselves, and in order to do that, he encourages individuals to embrace suffering, to welcome suffering as a means of personal development and growth, and for it to act as a catalyst for achieving development, improvement, and eventual greatness. The author here also critiques dogmatism. The philosopher critiques dogmatic thinking, arguing that rigid adherence to beliefs stifles creativity and progress. He promotes intellectual flexibility and the importance of questioning established truths to foster a deeper understanding. And we move on to also look at and talk about the role of philosopher and philosophy. And the author sees the philosopher as a creator of values rather than a mere interpreter of existing values. He believes that philosophers should actively shape meaning and purpose, challenging the status quo and inspiring others to think critically as well. Which moves us on to a discussion on perspective and the importance of perspective. The author, finally making his final point in this book, talks about and emphasises that perspective shapes our understanding of truth. He argues that there are no absolute truths. Instead, different viewpoints can lead to varied interpretations of reality. This lesson encourages openness to diverse perspectives and the recognition of the complexity of the human experience. So, in summary, these lessons encourage readers to think critically about morality, individuality, and the nature of truth, promoting a more nuanced understanding of life and human behaviour. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, where I come to you from the centre of the main quadrangle here at Sydney University on this glorious Sydney autumn morning. A powerful message from this author, and as I said, a message which is timeless, just like these buildings are timeless, built back in the 1860s, I think it was, 1860s, 1870s, around about the time this book was written. Wishing you all a great day, and I look forward to coming to you again from another place and with another message of empowerment where we can live, learn and pass it on, and hopefully be in a position where we can take OPE, other people's experiences, other people's deep thinking, and incorporate it into our own inventory of patterns and skills, knowledge, wisdom, so that we can enhance our life and also the life of those around us. Take care and bye for now.